inside the vibe, welcome to the flow. From the mind of Lil Joe, where the stories grow. Laid back wisdom, smooth as Sunday brunch. A life of thought, he hits you with the punch. Lil Joe's mind, a maze of gold. From jokes to truth, stories untold. Pull up a chair, let the convo roll. It's the mind of Lil Joe, feeding your soul. Talking about the world from the wild to the mild. Every topic on the table, thoughts free and wild. Chill like a summer breeze, groove so divine. From the cosmos to the corner, all intertwined. Retro funk with a lo-fi swing. Chill rap waves, let the podcast sing. Wisdom laced in humor, truths in disguise. Lil Joe dropping gems, open up your eyes. From late night laughs to early morning rants. Philosophies dance while the rhythm enchants. Relax, kick back, it's the vibe we sow. Straight from the mind of Lil Joe, let's go. Lil Joe's mind, a maze of gold. From jokes to truth, stories untold. Pull up a chair, let the convo roll. It's the mind of Lil Joe, feeding your soul.
Did you know, only a few years ago, getting on TV was almost impossible for small businesses? Today, everything's changed. Now real access belongs to everyone. For decades, it took deep pockets to get your message on TV or radio. The big companies had all the power, leaving everyday people and businesses out in the cold, but not anymore. At Purpose Inspired TV, we believe everyone deserves a voice. We make it easy and affordable to put your content on platforms like Roku and Fire TV. No huge budgets, no tech headaches, just a clear path to reaching millions. We're not just another tech company. We're your bridge to new opportunities. Whether you're a business, an organization, or a dreamer with a message, this is your moment, so why not take that next step? Purpose Inspired TV, access to the world for everyone.
What happens when your story is too small for the big networks? When your message matters, but you can't afford the spotlight. That's where Purpose Inspired TV steps in. We're the bridge between the haves and have-nots, covering the events and voices others ignore. Available on Roku and Fire TV, we make professional streaming affordable for everyone. Your purpose deserves a platform. Join Purpose Inspired TV.
Penny, 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 penny. Penny is dead. The penny is dead. All right. I don't know if y'all heard the news. They discontinued the penny. No longer we will have pennies being printed up. All right. So we got. I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna get into it. Penny is dead. Oh, guess I need to push this button, huh? And go over here.
Tonight, after more than 230 years in circulation, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia pressing the last ever American penny.
We're saying goodbye to the penny today.
U.S. Treasurer Brandon Beach on hand for the historic moment as production of the 1-cent coins officially comes to an end. The final 2 pennies going up for auction.
It's still legal tender, and we have over 300 billion of them in circulation.
Earlier this year, President Trump calling the coin wasteful as the cost to produce just 1 penny is now almost 4 times its face value.
The penny is gone.
For years, it's been a hotly debated issue. Nightly News did this report way back in 1990 about the first congressional bill attempting to eliminate the ill-fated coin.
When we put a few pennies on the sidewalk, no one bothered to pick them up.
But despite its growing irrelevance, the abrupt death of the penny has left some banks and businesses scrambling.
Let's say that you go to a store and the cost is $5.53. You're paying in cash.
Yep.
What do you tell the customer?
So right now, the vast majority of our members are going to round that up to the nearest nickels.
Retail trade groups now urging Congress to establish a national standard for rounding cash transactions. But tonight, many just saying goodbye.
We're going to have a moment of mourning.
Sharing their thoughts for a penny. Liz Kreutz, NBC News.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Nope, I'm sitting here muted again. Muted again. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. So, goodbye to the penny. Goodbye to the penny. The penny is gone. Yeah, I think you're telling me that I was muted. Wait, just take this. That's what it's saying. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Goodbye to the penny. I just want to get people's take. Kind of sad, but we could. The kids that's thinking that they are so young now, we can tell them you was alive when they got rid of the penny. Um, what I was starting to say a while ago when I was muted, that I'm one that would pick up a penny. I didn't have any shame in my game. Hey, the first step to becoming a millionaire is starting with the first penny. So I was picking up. Then we would have these, I call it penny games. I went to a Super Bowl one time and I came back with a souvenir football and I played a penny game with the kids. But basically, whoever would collect the most pennies, well, actually any change, whoever collected the most change throughout the week would keep the trophy. So I was pretty good at it. And then Chris was my competition. Now Chris would knock you over to get to a penny. He, I had to stop him one time. We was at a grocery store. He saw some pennies behind the counter. He's going back behind the counter to get it. With penny, whatever, he was going to get it. If it was on the ground, or on the floor, Chris was going after it. And then I got to say, China, China couldn't keep the money. She would have to spend it. So she was a spender. She would spend what she would find, and then Chris would knock everybody out. I can't remember. Corey was kind of neutral. He would win every once in a while, but yeah, he was neutral. But me and Chris, I'm like, man, Chris would be killing it. I'm like, how you find that much money? So then I had to go beat him. But I'm like, what happened to the trophy? What happened to that trophy with, I don't know how much time. I think it was maybe half full of change. What happened to the trophy? That's what I would like to know. All right, so let's get into it. I need to do something so I can see. Let's see, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put people over here. So if anybody making comments, what the world? What do I do with it? I'm sorry, technical difficulties again. There we go. Take this, put it over there. I'm gonna get to it. Let me get it. And then come back right here. So Sorry. But, nope. All right. I'm getting to it. Getting to it. Getting to it. Now, the Lully Brown penny is small, it's copper, but most of us don't think twice about it before tossing it in the drawer, in the pocket, is under seats, between the seats, in the cars. It's probably can find pennies from everywhere here in America. And a lot of people even throw them in the trash. They didn't care too much about it. But a penny has a story. So that's what we're gonna be talking about, the story of the penny. And then if you guys got some good old penny stories, I would love to hear them. So today we're talking about the history, the mystery, and even superstition. A lot of superstition went along with the 1 cent, the penny. Um, we'll talk about Abraham Lincoln. You know how Abraham Lincoln got some history with the penny also. So we're gonna be talking about that. So here we go. We're gonna get into it. The penny was first minted in 1793. Pennies. Ooh, that was well before Abraham Lincoln was born. So early pennies were made out of copper, um, and they was way larger. But you could buy a whole lot more with a penny back in the day too. I can remember my mom. I don't know, 2 cent. They go to, I know with a nickel, 5 cent, 4 cent, probably before then. But I can imagine uh, with a penny, you probably buy a whole meal when they first start using them. But now it takes a whole lot of pennies to get something to eat with. Um, the design of the penny changed many times. Then we know the one about the Liberty clap, the Flying Eagle, the Wheat sickles. The current Lincoln penny came out in 1909, and that was 100 years after his birth. So 1909, so a little bit of history. So you might start digging to your penny stash. You probably, I can almost guarantee you got something that's worth, some of your pennies is worth a couple of dollars. You know, somebody might have that $1 million penny, but a couple of them might be worth a couple of dollars. And it was the first U.S. coin to feature a person's face. Before that, on the symbols, figures, Lady Liberty was the only thing used. So Abe Lincoln set the standard of putting a mug on some money, on the coin. So Lincoln was chosen because he represented honesty, honest Abe, unity. He tried to unite the country, and freedom. Again, so he was the one that got the credit for freeing the slave. Um, Qualities that U.S. wanted to honor after his assassination. So a lot of people were saying that they were dishonoring Lincoln by putting him on the penny, but they was really honoring him. I wonder if there's more pennies. They said there's billions of pennies still out on the streets. Okay, the designer was Victor David Brenner, and he started off putting his initials on the penny. They didn't really care for that. Some people say that Lincoln's back was turned because that he was betrayed. Um, he was betrayed for freeing the slaves, but they're saying that's not true. They're saying that's just a myth. Um, they're just saying that just by happened that his face was faced that other way, and then when they started making the other coins with other people's faces, they decided to use another design. So I don't know. Some people say I don't know. That's neither here nor there. So he's the only one facing that direction. But they said it's not because of the slaves. It's not because they didn't throw him on a penny because of the brown people. I don't know. If you can find some other history, find some proof otherwise. Maybe there's a lot of other stuff that goes on under the radar. Um, the saying, find a penny, pick it up, and all day long you have good luck. So I picked up a whole lot of pennies. I don't know if my luck, I don't really believe in luck. I believe in being blessed. but I've been blessed, and sometimes those pennies and change save me. So I say I don't discourage it. If people say hey, it's dirty, but hey, some people could be rude. Imagine you paying for something and you short 1 cent. Most places you go to, you go ahead and get it. They give you a penny or say don't worry about it. But there are some places that they will stop everything, stop the whole transaction because you short a penny. Make you go to the car and make you do something. So uh, you know, sometimes I've already been in those situations where you're gonna stop the whole thing. I can't buy my food because I'm short a penny. All right, so you just look around, go outside. More than likely, a penny is not too far away. That's one good thing. Um, it's rooted into old European traditions. The metal was taught to ward off evil. So we're talking about the superstitious part of it. Over time, the penny became a symbol of luck because money itself represented fortune. And then I guess in America, a lot of people come to America, they see pennies laying all over. They can find penny and change everywhere. So like, okay, this must be a wealthy country. They don't even care about this money that's in the street. Some added, finding a penny, heads up, good luck, tails down, um, turn it over for his next person. That don't even rhyme. That don't rhyme. I ain't care if I saw a penny, a couple of pennies. I'm just grabbing heads up, whatever. People still glue pennies to sidewalks and leave them heads up in the public for others to find, and then try to share the blessing. So some people just leave it on purpose. Some people glue it to different places and yeah, glue it different places to trick people. I think now I don't forgot. I forgot when I redid. A couple of years ago, I tiled the floor in my house, and I just like I was making it up as I went along. So when I tiled the floor, it was some gaps. It was about an inch gap left around the whole. It was like the dining room area and the living room area. So I didn't know what to do with that extra area. So I got creative and decided, since I love the beach so much, I decided to put Saint, seashells in the cracks and fill it up with that acrylic, that see-through stuff. So that's what I did. And well, when I first started doing it, I think the acrylic bottles were like $20 a bottle. So I don't know how many bottles I had to buy, but I would like pour the bottle, and I thought I had it sealed up. So I poured this $20 bottle worth of sealant in these areas, and go to work, come back home, it's all gone because it done seeped under the side, under the steps, or under the towel somewhere. It's like, man, I was just throwing money away, but I eventually sealed it up and got it done. But I know, I think it's got to be a penny. I think it is. Anyway, get my niece and nephew to go on a scavenger hunt and see can they find it. But I did. I know I left some treasures. It was like some, like I said, different seashells. There's different things. If you Nobody even looks at the floor too much anyway. But if they looked in the floor, they could find different things that I put in there that's sealed up. So anyway, that was my little penny story. I know it's a penny in there. I'm not sure what else, other kind of money is in there. Um, so the cost, is it worth to continue to print the penny or make the penny, mint the penny? It costs more than a penny to make a penny. It costs about 2.5, 2.5 cents. But in the video that we just watched, it says it takes 4 times, or it says it costs 4 cents to make a 4 cent penny. Is it worth it? The same thing, the nickel too. It costs more to make it, but it still serves a purpose. It's working. It's earning its keep. It's making. It's doing something itself. So I don't know, but they decided that it's not worth it. The U.S. Mint produces billions every year, costing taxpayers tens of millions of dollars every year to continue to print or mint the pennies. So I think if they still wanted to put the use back out of them, I think they could have just slowed down on the production of them. If they slowed down on the production of them, that would have caused people to start, digging into their reserves. 'Cause a lot of people got barrels and piggy banks full of them. I got a, yeah, I got a bunch of them myself too. Uh, but I think, yeah, if they would have cut back on the production of them, then they would have started getting a shortage. And I think, what was that, the penny that um, I know one during COVID, was it COVID when there was like a penny shortage? It was some kind of chain shortage. I forgot which one or what it was. But I think if they would, like I said, slow down on the production, maybe. But an extra estimate, $62 million worth of pennies are lost every year. That's a lot of doggone pennies. But imagine $62 million worth of pennies. So a lot of it may not be totally lost. I believe if people will go look under their couch, under their couches, looking in the car seats, look in the couches. But I know a lot of it get thrown away. But it's probably a couple million, several $1 million worth of pennies just laying around and just in your face. But it's a lot of pennies. It takes a lot of pennies to add up. But imagine those pennies are out there. So there is millions of dollars just spread all out for anybody to discover and to collect. All right. So wild things people have done with pennies. What are some wild things people have done with pennies? I told you what I did. I might have it in my floor. I've seen them in restaurants. I like it like in a restaurant. That's probably where I got the idea where people put memorial things, pictures, and different things in there. The tabletop, and even pennies and money. And then they put the gloss over it. I like that. So that's where I got the idea of putting it in, in the floor. But what's some of the craziest things that you've seen people do with pennies? Well, one, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, throwing a penny off the Empire State Building. I thought that maybe people would get killed. I don't know. I cannot confirm or deny if I've thrown a coin off the Empire State Building or when I did you go outside the World Trade Center or those buildings, the tower in Las Vegas? But I've the science says that you can't kill anybody by dropping a penny because it's not gonna just like drop straight down. It's kind of like drifting whatever and not causing harm. But don't go try it. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't take my word for it. I didn't drop a coin and then run downstairs and see what happened. But they say if you drop a coin off a building, it will not cause any harm. I don't know. Didn't hear from me. Um, so here we go. One man covered his entire floor with pennies. That was 13,000 coins. I think I saw that. A woman in New York paid her final mortgage payment with pennies just to make a point. Mm. A man in Georgia made a penny covered car. I think I saw that too. Penny Porsche. Yes, people have made tables, countertops, even full walls covered in pennies, sealed with the epoxy sealant, the resin, the stuff that I use. I think I've seen even houses or the entire room, the furniture, the floor, the walls, the ceiling, everything with pennies. So I think it'll be kind of close to impossible. Well, you can get them back, but you take a whole lot of work to get those pennies back. So anybody seen some crazy things done with pennies? Let me jump over here real quick. Um, okay. Nope. But yeah, y'all let me know. Y'all seen some crazy stuff done with pennies. Y'all remember that? Y'all watched it. Sanford and Son. So this guy really got to do with quarters, but you still sometimes I always thought if I was extremely broke, if I was on my last luck doing bad, like Fred was. Fred went to Vegas, used up all his money, lost all his money, and then but he remembered. He tossed a coin into the fountain. And a lot of times, y'all know, we go to a lot of fountains, and they're filled with change, and most of them are pennies. So he decided, I got to go get my quarterback. So he jumped in the fountain to get his fountain back, me get his money back. So I thought about that. What happens to a lot of these pennies? And I noticed that, not noticed, there are some places that they literally go and get all the money out. I think some places might keep the money, and some places they donate it, you know, clean it and donate it. It depends. But I think a lot of the famous places, I believe they donate it. So if you toss a coin in a fountain and thinking it's still there next year or the following year, a lot of places, no, it's not going to be there. They clean the coins out, clean the fountain, and they start all over again. Bet y'all didn't know that. I didn't know that. But yeah, you never know. You never know. You never know. Um, yeah, I've seen somebody. I think a dude paid his child support in pennies with a big old gigantic wheelbarrow full of pennies. Is real money. But don't you hate it when you go to the store and somebody got a whole big old handful of pennies? I'm glad they have those machines now where if you coming in the store with a whole lot of change, and I know when I was younger, I probably did it. I probably like used up the real cash and then just had change and then used up the silver coins and then you got all these pennies left and you still want to go buy something. So now you're taking all your pennies and now people standing behind you while you count your pennies out. So that work, you should put them in a roll. I think we started doing something that putting them in a roll. But yeah, it used to be aggravating standing behind somebody that's got a bunch of pennies. And, I don't know if y'all saw online, a lot of people pennies. Like I said, if you find the right penny or any coin, but like pennies, if you find a flaw or a mistake, I just saw somewhere if you find pennies without the "In God We Trust," yeah, you're doing pretty bad with not trusting in God. But there's some pennies out there that they forgot to put "In God We Trust." Those are worth a lot of money. So, and like I said, any different flaws, but you can look them up. And there are actually some apps that can help you go through it pretty fast. So you put the app on your phone. I have no idea. I'm not endorsing nobody, but you put the app on the phone, let the app scan the penny, scan the coins, and it'll let you know right away if it's worth something or for you to dig more into it. So yeah, check it out. But I think the value of the penny will go up. Well, I'm not sure, but okay. Should the penny be saved? Should we try to hold on to the penny? What you think about to round it up? So they just said in the article, if there's no more pennies, I still think it should be a wild. I don't know. Well, okay, this is uh, Joe's opinion. That goes along with they're trying to or planning not even trying to. They're going to a cashless society. So, okay, we could be in a cashless society. So who cares about the penny at that point? Uh, so then people still be trying to trade and stuff. You know, they think that okay, I got $1,000 worth of pennies, stored under my mattress. Maybe one day the government is going to just cut it off, and so that penny is not going to be worth a penny. So it's best to use it now. Anyway, but what I was trying to say was I believe since they've stopped making the penny, the more pennies that the people have stashed is going to go into circulation. So I believe it might be a couple of years before the pennies run out. But I think they're going to cut off the use of money before the pennies run out. That's just my opinion because they already started. They've started it in no, the like the digital ID, these different IDs, and then like going cashless is moving in real fast. And I'm gonna do a story on that how fast this is moving. I think Europe, where it's in Great Britain, England, by 2027, not going to be using any cash anymore. You can be on their system. What they talk about in the Bible, mark of the beast, 2027. Look how close that is. And you know, the United States is going to be right on their trail to do the same thing. So they're already trying to switch stuff over to Bitcoins. You know, that's just all digital. So that it was inevitable. Uh, you know, the end of the penny was he saw his death coming real soon anyway. So it was close. Okay, so in 1982, pennies, 95% copper. That was about 3 grams each. So that was almost like, but now that was worth more than a penny. In each worth more than face value at raw material. Yeah. Um, though melting them is illegal. So they're saying it's back when it was 95% copper, it was worth more. The copper was worth more than a penny, but it was illegal for you to melt it down. But how do they know you melt it down? That might be where a lot of the missing pennies might be. Okay, so many coins, many people that collect coins hoard the copper coins in case rules change. What rules? In case the rules of the copper being melted. So if the penny is no longer the penny, or what the day that the penny is no longer a legal tender, how can you say you can't melt down a penny? How can it be against the law? It's no longer a legal tender. All right, I'm not a lawyer. Don't listen to me. But again, they stopped making them. And if you got a way to melt them yourself, I mean, how I don't know. How would they know if you melted a bunch of pennies and sold the metal out of it? How would they know? Right. Again, you didn't hear that from me. But you're hurting the economy if you're taking the whole truckloads of pennies and melting them down. That's gonna make the pennies run out even faster. Okay, so is if anybody have any copper pennies. So I just gave you some. What did I just say? I said the pennies before 1982 had 95% copper. So you already know if you find a penny before 1982 is more than likely is worth more than a penny. So you already came up. So if anything, find those and keep all those and then get rid of everything after 1982. See, you just made a couple bucks right there. Just made a couple bucks of getting the pennies before 1982. All right, see, y'all owe me. If y'all find that $1 million penny, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start saving and keeping those pre-1982 pennies. All right, there are over 300 billion. That's what a B. 300 billion pennies in circulation. And I know just in one household, probably got a big jack, several Ziploc bags full of them. And people actually, went into all the drawers. That's what I had this big. I mean, it was it started when I was going to work. Using actually cash and having throughout the week having a whole pocket full of change. So at about the end of the week, I dump all the change. I would dump all the change in a drawer, and I did that. I was at the company for almost like going on 30 years. Imagine at least 10 years of doing that. 10 years of working, getting change, dumping in the drawer, working, getting change, dumping in the drawer. So I had a lot of change that I used. So yeah, I think I spent some of it, but I accumulated a lot of change. So I imagine a lot of people doing that for years and never using the change, just throwing it in a drawer or throwing it in that piggy bank or something like that. So there's a lot of people, a lot of households we could probably, what is that? I said three, I said 300 billion, 300 billion. Imagine just in your neighborhood. So just have a penny drive. Did I do a penny drive before? I did something for a penny. Oh, we did that. We did a penny drive for Haiti. We was collecting pennies for Haiti. That's what I was. I collected a lot of pennies, and I was giving away a lot of pennies. But something happened. I think I think they gave. See, I'm having flashbacks of all these different things. Yeah, so we had a penny drive, and I started using Sharice drink those water from those blue water bottles, and I was filling those water bottles up with pennies. Then I was taking them to the church, and I think we took them one time to Haiti. I think it was like war or something. It was an unrest going on over there in Haiti, so we wasn't able to go over there. I think I was gonna try to make a trip with some of the people that was from Haiti, but they was like it's not safe for you to go there. So I never made it over to Haiti. We made it to Dominican Republic another time, and I thought about it. I don't like. I'm gonna start talking about these different things. Don't like the way the Dominican Republic treats the Haitians. So that's another story. But I wanted to see how close I can get to the border and see if I could have made it to Haiti. But anyway, I digress. Get back on board. Um, so the penny with no engage. I think I just said that it was in 1995. No, no, no. Back it up. 1955. In 1955, they did some pennies with no "In God We Trust." So they said that penny or pennies are worth thousands of dollars if you can find those. So that's 1955. Okay, some rare mints can sell for over $15,000 for a penny. You can make $15,000 for a penny, and it's a very high chance that you have some pennies that's worth thousands of dollars. Okay, in 1943, steel pennies. It was made during World War II to save copper for bullets and wiring. So that was 1943. So that should have some worth. 1943 when it went from copper to steel. All right. So what do y'all think? Uh, what I would like. What's some things that we name pennies? So when I started the show, I was I said penny. Do y'all know who I was referring to? I think I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to play that challenge if y'all want to play that challenge with me. So I guess the one question: do y'all think we should get rid of the penny? It's too late. It's gone. Y'all didn't treat the penny right. You did not treat the penny right. The penny got stepped on, kept swept up, tossed aside, didn't get treated right. So don't talk about you missed the penny and you want the penny back. Nope, it's gone. Too late. Um, have you ever found a lucky penny, a penny that you considered, hey, this penny means something to me. It means something to me. Um, I just remember I'm having all these penny flashbacks. Penny loafers. Y'all remember penny loafers? Uh, you take it was penny loafers with some shoes for the young folks where you put a penny at the on the just Google penny loafers. So you put the pennies in and the pennies, in the shoe. You walk around with two pennies on your shoes. I was rich. Yep, I thought I was rich. I was rich and I was different. Instead of putting a penny in my penny loafers, I put dimes. I was walking around with two dimes in my shoe. So I was well off with my 20 cent and everybody else walking around with 2 cents. Um, um, so y'all, yeah, y'all hit me up. Let me know what y'all think about the pennies and what the pennies mean to you. So where I want to go now, who's some characters or what are some characters like from movies? Um, and I got a meeting coming up real quick. All right, this could be my final thought. Who are some people that you can remember that for things how we use pennies, not pennies, the word penny. We know we use the name penny, um, penny for your thoughts. What are different things that y'all can remember that you use penny for? Uh, let me do my little search, real quick search. Um, there you go, real quick. Penny wise, penny for your thought. Yeah, we use. Hold on, I got some good stuff here. What you got? Bubble gum. Oh yeah. Oh, you talking about spinning pennies? Yeah. If people use pennies for bubble gum, I was like, what else do you call? You remember penny? Penny from Penny from the Proud Family. Penny from Good Times. I remember some more pennies. So we really used for saving money. A penny saved is a penny earned. That is very insightful. That is the truth. Any penny, any amount of money that you don't spend is uh, that you saved is earned. Yeah, penny from Good Times. Um, it cost a pretty penny. It cost a yeah, cost a pretty penny. I mean, cost a lot. But I can remember. I wish we had some. I got some old people. Actually, I'm getting ready to interview a 100-year-old man in a couple of days. And actually, on Saturday in 2 days, I'm going to see two or three 103-year-old men. If I get the chance, I'm going to ask them first about like how much money they remember the first time earning money. How much did they make? And a lot of times, people they was making like 50 cents a week. So people making 50 cents a week or $1 a week, a penny was going to go a long way. Um, so in for a penny or in for a pound. In for a penny, in for a pound means to go all the way with something once you've started, regardless of how difficult it is. Okay, I never used that one. Um, to a penny or 10 a penny describes things that are very common and not particularly valuable. To a penny. Never heard of that one either. 10 a penny. Um, with the nickel and the diamond in it. Pennies on a dollar can be used to be compared to cost, meaning sometimes it's much cheaper in one place compared to another. You have pennies on a dollar, or that's what people getting paid pennies on a dollar. Somebody get paid $1, another person getting paid 50 cents, they're getting paid pennies on a dollar. Um, so, all right. So yeah, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about saying goodbye to the penny? No more penny. What happened? Oh yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna miss the penny. We we should do something. One more penny hunt, or do a how many pennies can you find by the end of the year or something. We'll figure out something, especially for the kids, especially young kids. Like young kids, uh, when they get older, they're not gonna have any pennies. So at least we can give them some kind of memory of pennies before they go. A lot of people got to teach them how to count and everything. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. Y'all let me know what kind of challenge, what's something we can do with the kids to let them uh, learn about pennies, even try to save some pennies. We'll collect pennies because yeah, they got to be a collector's item, but it's still 300 billion, 300 billion out on the streets right now. But they usually, if they had to make that much every year, they're gonna disappear pretty quick. So yeah, I guess you can start collecting some pennies. I used to collect those quarters when the new quarters came out. I collected so many of them. So maybe collect some pennies, but got to have some value. But since it's so many pennies, it's, people feel like they don't have any value. All right. So that was my little spiel on our farewell. Goodbye. See you later. Have fun. I'm gonna miss you, pennies. And we can still, like I said, a lot of the kids always talking about how old we are. We get to say, see, y'all so old. Y'all was alive when the penny died. You experienced the penny. A lot of different things is going away. A lot of things are changing. So they was able to use change. So change is going away. Everything's going to be digital on a piece of paper or in a computer. Not even get to touch it and feel it. Touch it and feel it. Do y'all spend more money when y'all don't touch the spill the money? Do y'all do that? Like if you had some money, you got a $20 bill. You gonna squeeze tight that $20 bill. You can hold on to it real tight. But if you got you spending $20 on your card. Do y'all spend that faster? Do y'all spend that faster? That's just my question for the evening. But all right, I'm gonna stop it here. I have another. I'm trying to keep it short. Got somewhere else I got to go. But anyway, I want to talk about the penny real quick. Anyway, so we got some more to talk about. Let's talk about it some more. I got to go. So everybody have a good, God blessed evening. All right. Until next time. Do shooting.
So, Lil Joe's mind a maze of gold. From jokes to truth, stories untold. Pull up a chair, let the convo roll. It's the mind of Lil Joe feeding your soul. Talk about the world from the wild to the mild. Every topic on the table, thoughts free and wild. Chill like a summer breeze, groove so divine. From the cosmos to the corner, all intertwined. Retro funk with a lo-fi swing. Chill rap waves, let the podcast sing.